Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Anyway, got one more review. Chapter review. Wow. Akame ga Kiru, chapter 48. Now, this chapter tells me one thing. I think there comes a point in this series when I believe I have to say this. I don't think the Empire can be salvaged. I really don't think so. And this was an interesting chapter because finally I could say it. That son of a bitch is dead. Next is up Ashura. He's next. Come on. Let's get to it. But yeah, this was Akame ga Kiru chapter 48. Kill the Foe part 2. Now, majority what happened, more or less what happened in this chapter, Ran, he went to Wild Hunt to convince that pedo champ, to go with him. And yeah, he really took it to him. And here's what's fucked up about that guy. I mean, it's fucked up what happens in the end of this chapter, but this is completely just, I just look at it and say, really? That's your reason? I'm glad this motherfucker's dead. He died, yeah. He got killed. The reason why that pedo black, I'm not being racist here, black clown, fat black clown. The reason he kills kids, is because so they don't grow up to be adults. So you're killing them, which makes sense, I guess. It is because adults are scumbags. Not all adults. What a warped motherfucker. A lot of people are warped in Akame ga Kiru. Especially Kurome. But I'll get into that later on. So, he explains to Ran why that's the reason he does it. Because they don't become filthy adults. Saying that they're scums and they'll be angels forever. I'm like, angels forever. Listen, man. No. We don't do that here. So essentially what happens is, Randon goes into detail saying all about the time you were drunk and, I found you said what you did these kids, and so on and so forth. And it goes into details, and Brandon ends up, and saying that has nothing to do with this, and saying, but it does. And then Brian brings up, I was those children's teacher. And that's when he begins to fight Champ. They call himself Champ. Yeah. But anyway, with help from Kurume's dolls, Rand's able to fight Champ. And the fight was kind of interesting. I mean, Champ has these Tegu orbs. which was kind of interesting, I thought, in the chapter. And he used them as a shield, used them in different ways. And he's basically saying, "Who the hell are you?" You know, and he has Tegu up, and basically Ran punctures him with the feathers and brings him down. And saying that I only had a few eyewitnesses, took me long if I finally found you. This is probably nothing compared to the suffering that those children experienced. But Ran takes this. I don't know what it was. I think it's a flower. It says oh, once applied to a wound, its internal compounds trigger immense pain, just like the general said. These say, and saying he prays for his life, saying, "No, don't find out. You're the one who killed me. Are you okay with that?" And he's like, "No need to worry. I'll blame it on Night Raid." Fucking Ran. You know what he did? He took the knives because it was just this wound on the. He's like opening the wound up and shit. I was like, yeah, you're sick. That was sick. So Ran essentially he's taking his time just torturing Champ. Hey, fucking deserves that moment. We don't do that shit. Okay? There are consequences for the shit you're pulling. And here they are. So he essentially does that and everything. And likewise we have Anos basically saying, but now I will now no longer this pass any longer. I will race from the shadows one by one. We have the other two showing up. Showing up as well. That guy with the short black hair and the one with the song, the singing voice. By the way, all three of those, Champ and the other two, which was kind of, I was like, yeah. But here's the twist. I mean, this chapter was kind of strange. And overall, I think for this chapter, I would probably give this a 4.5 out of 5. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. Almost. And you see, this goes back to what Rand said about changing the Empire. I think that if he had succeeded in killing Champ without suffering and dying, almost dying, or, doing what I think he would have succeeded. But the conclusion of this chapter tells me no. No. I don't know what I mean by that. I mean that I just can't see. I really think the Empire is beyond saving. The only way to save the Empire is to destroy Wild Hunt and to kill the Prime Minister. And even that, I don't think would work. Just saying. So essentially what happens is Kurome and her dolls are fighting these two. And, there's a full moon, and this guy, he has this curved blade thing that does like a curve slashes and shit. So they end up fighting Kurumi and her dolls, and Moonlight Sword Dance. Shamshir, that's what he has. As a curved blade and everything. And he takes care of one of his dolls and takes another one out. But then when Kurumi gets involved, she and then the other one with the singing voice takes out a few of her dolls, blah, 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 and with the heavy pressure thing. Kurumi's holding her ears in. But Kurumi comes back and slashes the guy in the back. And they do a 2-prong attack, and she looks like she's pinned down. But then Ron shows up to save her. But he says he shows up to save her, but here comes an orb. If Ran had defeated Champ, killed him, just killed him, that would have been it. So that was the problem. See, that was the problem with this whole chapter. If Ran had said, okay, I'm going to kill him, and that is it, then he would have survived. And then he could have, and then he really could have changed Ran. He could have excelled, went up in rank, and he would have been able to change the Empire. But because of what happens, and because Ran got hurt and pretty much was on the verge of death in this chapter, that throws everything out the window. At least that's what I believe. And basically what happens is Champ's still alive. He throws a flame orb. Was it a flame orb? I don't know if it was a flame... Wait. No, a storm orb. Then he throws an explosion orb. And then he's like, I finally can fight back. 6 orb Tegu. Each orb is imbued with an element that activates one's farm. And basically, Rand's, hurt, and Champ then says, oh, they wouldn't stop crying for you, and blah, 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 and I'm a dick. And he's basically saying he's going to use the flame orb. He throws it. Rand then brings out his divine wings and blacks it back at Champ, goes right through him, and he just bursts in flames. And then he's basically, Rand saying, finally, I was able to take revenge. And then we have the singing girl coming up. Before you die, let's have some boom! I want to say the famous quote, shot with my laser! You know how you say it? She got shot by Mean, and she's done for the count. Her. Then, basically after that, and there's basically Night Raid coming up, and going in, the other guy gets attacked by Tatsumi. He disappears, then gets slashed. But this has to be the thumbnail. I have to use this as a thumbnail. The picture of Akame. He's just all sinking to the grave. And she basically slashes the guy, and he is pretty much done for. Well, actually, no, wait. No, scratch that. He's not done for. He is. Yeah, he's done. And we have this altercation with Kurome and Akame. And Main's thinking to herself, she says that who would have thought we had the same target as the Jaegers? And Kurome's basically saying, we Jaegers will hunt down anyone who disturbed the peace, no matter who that might be. And Ron's saying that she's changed much, and so on and so forth. That's why you can't die here. And so on and so forth. And gets to an altercation until Rand gets involved, and she throws a blast of her wings at Akame. Tatsumi blocks the shot, and they leave. And they're out of range. So they leave, and Min's basically saying that uses his last energy round to escape. So they leave. We have this instance where Akame is thinking about, Kurome and stuff. And I think it's Leon. She's saying, we'll get the rest of the Wild Hunt next time. Now, after that occurs, we have a scene with Kurome and Ran. And that's when I say this. What's going on here? Now, Ran got hurt. She got really badly hurt. And he got hurt. I keep calling her. And Kurome's basically saying he's done for. And Ron's basically saying, about the whole divine retribution for prolonging his suffering instead of just killing him. It looks like this is it. And then Kurome, she's saying, no. If you die, Wave will be sad. I will be too. Please tell Wave to always have his gentle side and to keep moving forward. Ran. That's when Kurome takes her sword. Now you should know, her Tegu allows her, whoever she stabs, turn her into a puppet. So she takes it upon herself to stab Ran. Make him into a puppet. Yeah, who's what? Just a wild question here. How is that solving anything? Which brings up the next point. If Ran had survived, he probably could have gone about the reconstruction of the Empire by waking up to the ranks. But now, you might as well take that, put it in a big pile of dog shit, and throw it out the window. For what Kurome just did. Congratulations, Kurome. You are completely brain fucked. Because that's what basically happened. She stabs Ran. And she's like, we'll always be together. I'm like, what is this? What is this? You know shit now? I'll say it right now. The Empire is beyond saving. I don't know what anyone else thinks about in the Akame Kiru, but I personally believe it's beyond saving. And she's like, but with Yatsufusa, we can make it happen. And then Ron's looking at Kurome and says, your psyche has been warped to this extent. This is why the Empire that raised such a miserable girl has to change. And she's like, we Jaegers are a team. We won't say goodbye just when we finally start getting close, she's saying. And we see Ran, and he's, just fucked. He says, don't you think so too, Ran? And says a warped emotion pierces Kurome and spurs her into action. Kurome, I believe, when Wave finds out, because he'll know. He's going to know. He's going to look at Ran, and he's going to realize, he's going to slap Kurome in the face. And it's not going to take long for him to figure it out, what happened to Ran. But overall, like I said, 4.5 out of 5. I see no. They need to kill the Prime Minister. That needs to happen. Like, Prime Minister, his son, Wild Hunt. It all needs to go. All of it. Tell General Budo to go kill the Prime Minister. Just smash his head like a grapefruit on the side of a wall. And let General Budo command the country, command the Empire. Because at least with him, you could consider there's some kind of decency. And tell someone just slap Kurome and say, listen, bitch. Listen. Wake up. Because this is it's a fucked up world. Akame ga Kiru. And, someone needs to slap the fuck out of her. Maybe Akame should do that. She should just knock Kurome out. That's what she should have done. Knocked her out. And proceed to dump her in cold water. So maybe that will wake her senses up. Because the more I think about it, Kurome, you're fucking stupid. You're fucking stupid what she's just doing. It's like, you're brainwashed to the point of no return, and come on. But hey, this is my thoughts. Bonkai 922. See you guys later. Wow. I feel really bad for Ran. I really do. This guy, he was going to go about the change. He was going to get his revenge. He was going to go about the change of the Empire. And now he can't. Because now he's a fuck toy doll. Thanks to Kurome. Great job, bitch. Great job. Fuck you. Hey, that's just me. I'm Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. Peace.